Hey guys, so for this week's update, it's probably going to be a shorter video. Number one reason being that I had my practice canceled on Wednesday. So really all I did is I moved ahead a little bit in the book and just sped up practicing other songs that I had been playing. So what I figured I'd talk about this week is that, originally the intention of these videos was to keep for myself, keep a few people updated that were interested, and I realized that not everybody watching knows how to play accordion or how the accordion works, so a lot of my explanations might just not make sense. So that's number one, something I want to get better going forward, but I just figured I'd take a few minutes and walk through everything that's going on here and help give some context for the future. So really, an accordion, it's always been talking about, there's two sides of it. This is my right hand, it's got the piano keys. The left hand over here has the chords. In the middle, these are called the bellows, so this is where the air moves through to make noise. So on the right hand, you have the piano, so it just plays piano notes. You can play multiple notes on them. You can play chords. You can really do whatever you want on this side as long as you're moving. Now, something interesting about this is that there's also all of these switches on here, which makes the piano make different noises. So this is like your standard accordion sound. But you have something called a clarinet here. You can just do the bottom, which I believe is called the oboe. This is called the bandon. And then that dissonant sound with all three of them together. So it can make all those different kinds of noises. Now moving over to the left hand, this is what I said the chord parts are played. That's why it's called an accordion. So you have your bass sounds you can play. You can play the chords. So this is C, C major. I can play C minor, C7, and C diminished. Now, and then that happens for each note. The way these are organized is in the circle of fifths. So instead of this being C and then D next to it, it's actually G and then F is below it. So that's because these are organized in a way that when you're writing songs, playing music, a lot of people are familiar that there's like four, common chords that's used in all of pop music. Well, the same thing happens for a lot of music that's just written in general. There's a high likelihood that certain chords are just going to be next to each other or need to be used, and so it's organized in that circle of fifths so that it's most common. So you can also play multiple of these buttons at the same time. And there you go. Now also on this left hand, on this accordion, I also have these switches up here which will change the left hand sound. Well, this is where you're running into the hard part about an accordion is I can't see anything on this left hand. There's a couple divots that let me know where C is and other notes on there, but aside from that, I'm just kind of feeling my way around to figure out where stuff is. And then the middle switch is that sound. Both of them together. So there's a lot better videos out there that explain how an accordion works. I definitely encourage you to go out and find those if you're actually interested, but hopefully that gives some context onto what I'm talking about. Left hand, right hand, adding chords on the left hand, because it's just a button, but it might be a jump. So yeah, I'll end with a video of my practice this week of where I got to a song, and then that's it. Short video this week. Hopefully next week we'll be back with more interesting stuff. I know going forward I'm only working with 5 notes on this right hand right now, so like my hand just sits here, and I don't have to move anything. But I know probably in this coming week we're going to start adding notes and trying to figure out how that works. I know when I played Guitar Hero as a kid, it was one of the hardest things to add that orange note. My brain didn't really understand how to just reassign my fingers, so hopefully I'm not going to have that difficulty when it comes to the piano. Alright, we'll check back in next week for another update.